Beginning, Edward was born in a small British village, which became a small town after the Industrial Revolution. His parents were from a simple family with limited resources. Edward had a difficult childhood. His father worked in a factory, and his mother took care of the house. Due to financial constraints, the family often struggled to make ends meet.
When Edward was 12 years old, his father's health deteriorated and he became unable to work. The responsibility of the family fell on Edward's mother's shoulders, and she started working in other people's homes to make ends meet. In this difficult time, Edward realized that he had to work as soon as possible, so that he could help his family. Initial conflicts. Edward quit school and started working in a nearby factory. The work was hard and paid very little. Still, Edward never gave up. He got up early every day, went to work, and worked hard all day. He had only one desire: to give his family a better life.
But soon, Edward began to realize that working in the factory alone would not change his life. He wanted to do something big, but he had no education or any special skills. He often wondered if he would continue doing such small jobs all his life, or if he should do something else.
Inclination towards education. Edward's heart was always drawn to education. When he returned home from work, tired, he would read books late into the night. He did not have school books, but he started reading old newspapers, magazines and whatever books he could find. He had a hunger for learning, and he pushed himself to take an interest in new subjects.
One day, Edward came to know about a man in the town who taught youngsters for free. The man was a retired teacher who had set up a small library in his house and taught poor children. Edward immediately decided that he would meet the teacher and request him to teach him.
Struggles and learnings. When Edward met the teacher, Mr. Williams, he told him about his difficulties and his passion for education. Mr. Williams was impressed and decided to teach him. However, he told Edward, "You have less time and more responsibilities. You have to work very hard, because there is no shortcut to education."
This was a new chapter for Edward. Now he worked in the factory during the day and studied at night. His daily routine was extremely tough, but he never complained. He knew this was the key to his success. Gradually, he became good at subjects like mathematics, science, and literature. But he had to face many obstacles in this journey. His friends used to make fun of him that he would not be able to achieve anything by studying. Sometimes his mother also used to explain to him that he was wasting his time, and he should focus on his work. But Edward ignored everyone and kept moving towards his goal. Heading to the big city after a few years of hard work, Edward, with the help of Mr. Williams, found out about some good educational institutions. He knew that if he wanted to change his life, he would have to leave his small town and move to a big city where he could get better opportunities. One day, he talked to his mother about it. Initially, his mother refused, as she did not want her son to go so far away. But Edward explained to her that it was necessary for the future of their family. Eventually, his mother gave him permission, and Edward prepared to go to London.
Arriving in London, Edward found himself in a new phase of struggle again. Living there was expensive, and finding a job was not easy. But thanks to his studies, he got a job as a clerk in a small company. This job was below his expectations, but he considered it his first step. He worked during the day and studied at night.
Towards success while living in London, Edward understood the importance of education more deeply. He tried to enroll in the local university, but was not immediately admitted. His educational qualifications were still insufficient. Nevertheless, he did not give up and continued his studies. He enrolled in part-time courses and small certificate programs to enhance his qualifications.
After constant hard work and dedication, Edward got admission into a prestigious university. This was a turning point in his life. At the university, he specialized in social sciences and economics. He knew that this subject would give him a deeper understanding of society and he would gain the knowledge he needed to succeed in life. Edward faced financial problems even during his university studies. He had to balance his studies and job. At times he would be exhausted, but his determination kept him going. He never lost sight of his goal.
Eventual success. After several years of hard work and struggle, Edward completed his degree. Now he was not just an ordinary factory worker, but an educated young man who had the knowledge and the ability to move ahead. After leaving the university, he got a job in a big company. He gradually climbed the ladder of success, and in a few years he reached an important position in the company. His story had now become a source of inspiration throughout Britain. He became an example for those youth who wanted to fulfill their dreams even in difficult circumstances.
Conclusion. Edward's story proves that any obstacle in life can be overcome with hard work, education and determination. Everyone has to struggle in life, but the person who moves forward while facing that struggle achieves true success. Edward's journey taught him that no matter how many difficulties there are, if you are dedicated to your goal, success will definitely kiss your feet.